What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is the Manhattan Project, and unfortunately, I hate to say that this is going to be the finale. NHL 18 has snuck up on us, or at least on me, just at an unreal rate. Like, I cannot believe it is September already, and that we are this close to NHL. Or to NHL 18, I should say. So, unfortunately, the Ranger series is going to have to end a little bit sooner than expected. We are prepping for year number 4. We won the Cup in year 1. No, this is year number 5. I'm mistaken. So, we won the Cup in year 1. Pittsburgh, Ottawa, Carolina. So, this is year number 5. Anyway, before we get into the sim, I do have a couple of roster changes I want to make. Again, I don't like just going out and getting all the best players. I like keeping the team the same as if I were to continue simming this, so that we can come back to it a year or so down the road if we want to, especially on stream. So, the last episode, the last 2 episodes with the draft, getting Jesus Phillips, and then with the free agent class, getting Backstrom and Ryan Johansson because we had the money. The plan of rebuilding, again, once, it took a diversion. We took the off-ramp and we're going down a different road. The one change I've made so far off-screen was that we signed Matt Bolesky for the 4th line, and I am going to make a couple of changes to the AHL team because we simply have too many players. So I need to, at the very least, get rid of 2 forwards, and then I'm probably going to cycle out some defensemen to end up with some decent picks. But this is going to be a marathon episode, at least I do assume. I mean, I could be wrong. At this point in time, I currently don't know how long this episode's going to be, but you get the point. And really quickly, let me just make sure that the trading block is cleared out, which it isn't. I don't want to sit there and get spammed with offers from the AI while we try to sim. Once we're simming, I want it to be a straight shot to the playoffs. So again, we will make some changes. We have some unsigned players that could take up some roster spots down in the AHL. We have some players in the AHL that simply aren't going to get the playing time that they need, so it's worth getting rid of them and, getting back a fair return at the moment. So, let's see how this goes. Goaltending is set with our 5 at the moment. Of course, we picked up Ullman in the last draft. It'd be nice to see how good he's eventually going to be, which again is why I don't delete my save files. So there's that. We have 490 overall defensemen. That's a top 4, man. That is a top 4. The question is Liston and Vigilante, who we did just sign. It's a bit of an issue that we have them on this team. And to be honest, it is going to lead to us trading Chichu and Day, although didn't we just sign Chichu as well? I think we did. So maybe I'll just, Vigilante and Liston look like good players, right? That's why we signed them. Chichu, not a bad 2-way player. I don't recall trading away players once I ended up, getting them. So I think now is probably the best time to get rid of them. Vigilante, I really want to keep because, 90 offensive awareness. But I think we're going to get rid of Liston as well. I think now is probably the right time, which means that 6 down in the AHL are Kuhlman and Hemsky, Haig, Bronstrom, Sean Day, and Vigilante, which is pretty damn good. And then we'll probably sign... Maybe we won't sign Gill. He's good enough to be there, and if I do sign him, maybe that means the end of Sean Day, who, again, at that low top 4 potential is a bit rough. But, Ramsey could be signed. Not the best... maybe we'll just sign Ramsey and Hammerlick. I could trade Gill, to be honest. 84 offensive awareness. He probably deserves that ice time. And Sean Day still has a cannon of a shot. He's never going to make it, though. So I think Sean Day is going to be traded here as well. So we will get rid of these 3. Hopefully I don't get in too much trouble. Hopefully the game's like, oh, you can't do that. You got rid of players too quickly. I don't recall abusing that yet in this series. So hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt me here. Now, of course, we're going to look to pick Horde because Who else would we really try to acquire here? Montreal would have too many skaters. Can I just get these two? Liston and Chichu. How about a first and a fifth for those two? That would be ridiculous. How about just a first? No. Okay, well, that's fine. That is fine. Second, third, and another third for that decent group of players? Still no. How about just a second and a third? Still no. Wow. I got to admit, I'm a little bit surprised. How about a second, fourth, and a sixth? There we go. So Chichu and Liston are gone. And we did just get in trouble for it, but that's okay. It was that traded. That's why I got rid of Day from that trade, because at least I got rid of the two players that we just signed at the same time, and I don't have to do two separate deals. Easy for me to say. Now, Sean Day, I mean, we can send you to wherever. It really doesn't matter at this point. Let's find out. How about a second rounder from Florida and maybe another fifth rounder in return as well? How about just the second? You know, I'm going to try and get the second rounder. As it is, we have quite a few picks already. How about a fourth from Carolina? Still not close, apparently. How about the 2 fourth-round picks? What do you say to that? Still no. We'll go to the third rounders. It's fine. And we'll give up our own because I have a feeling we're going to have a really good year. How is that not going through based on the value bars? That is ridiculous. Let's use Detroit's fourth rounder. Will that go through? Jesus Christ. Fine, Florida. Fuck you. Unreal. Unreal. What the hell? Like, really? What the hell? Can I get Detroit's second rounder? No, they'd have too many skaters. Calgary. How would you like a nice new Sean Day for 2 second rounders? It's a bit too much to ask for, but you know what? That's okay. Let's go with the Calgary third. And nope, didn't mean to do that. God damn it. This menu. This menu. 2 fourths. 2 fourth-round picks. What do you say? Thank you very much. Probably gave up a little bit too much. Sean Day, I am sorry. You've been a very loyal soldier for us, but you are out of here, unfortunately. There's the one thing I'm worried about, though, too, is the amount of roster turnover we're inevitably going to have here. But let's take a look. Again, the defense is pretty much good to go. We need to sign 3 players. 1 player to actually play, which will be, I forget his name, but the unsigned player. Basically, the 3 unsigned players that we have, we're going to sign, and then we'll be good to go. We'll figure out the forwards really quick. There are a couple of guys I'd like to get rid of, like Katarinakis, who isn't that great and will never make it. And then we'll take it from there. So, unsigned players. We have our 3 defenders right here. It's Gill that I was thinking of. We have Hammerlick and Ramsey. So let's sign those 3 guys up. Wait, what the hell? Oh, too much money. Okay. Yeah, the cap space is a bit of an issue. The cap space is a bit of an issue. That's all right, though. Let's go ahead and see what's happening, I guess. Maybe, hopefully, please, hopefully, maybe, sure. Let's see. Defense, we just got to send these 2 guys down, and it should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Now we'll be able to sign them. I wish it would just send them right to the AHL. It would make life that much easier, but it's EA, man. Nothing's ever easy, is it? Or at least not convenient sometimes. Sometimes it would be nice to just have, 1 button presses to get to and from these really important menus. There we go. Let's sign up Ramsey. Perfect. All right, so our defense is set. Let's figure out the forwards, and then we're good. We will start simming. Hopefully we can avoid injuries for the majority of the season. Hopefully we don't have to make any big trade decisions. I'd like to just kind of, make it through, make it to the playoffs, and see what happens. Like I said, I fully expect this to be a marathon episode. So we have our 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, we do. So forward-wise, again, I could keep pretty much everybody. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I need to get rid of 2 forwards at least, but we also have some unsigned players that I don't think are, or we have some players that we don't even have to get rid of, but I still don't think that they're going to make it. And we have unsigned players that we could bring in to make up for their loss. Or, of course, we could sign veteran free agents. It doesn't really matter. So let's take a look at the forwards here again. 2 players have to go. at the very least. And unfortunately, it's looking like McKinnon, Roberts potentially going. I don't know. Kateranakis is definitely going. I mean, yeah, he's decent, but he's never really going to make it, unfortunately. And is there anybody else that we could get rid of? I gotta be honest, man. I think now might be the time for someone like Cole Lind to be traded, maybe? You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's send Anderson Dolan back to Tampa if I can. Which apparently I can't. But you know what? That's fine. What was he? Low top 6? Here. You know what? Never mind. Fuck it. We'll keep him. Whatever. We'll keep him. We'll get rid of Kateranakis, and we will get rid of McFarland, maybe? Maybe, possibly. We got Roberts as well. Huh. Because I'm trying to look, who do we have unsigned? Medium top 9, low top 6, medium top 9. Is there anybody really good that's unsigned? Stewart's medium top 6, he has to be signed. Volk is Canadian. Stewart's the Great Britain player, the UK. Yes, he is. Good. Alright, so I think we're fine. I need to get rid of 2 other players, then. We need to get rid of the 2 to begin with, and we need to sign our new British recruit. So, unfortunately, it really sucks, but McKinnon and Lee Roberts have to go. So we will get rid of these 3. We'll send them to wherever the hell we can. We'll try for Florida, despite the fact that they were being a little bit ridiculous earlier. We'll see if we can get this deal to go through. They still have too many skaters, really. Calgary, can we get this to work? I'd like to trade all 3 of them at once. Okay, Calgary is the destination, apparently. How about your first round pick next year and a 3rd rounder this year? What do you say to that? How about just the 1st? That's ridiculous, but I'll take it. I will take it. So we'll go best roster really quick. Let me go sign our new British recruit, and then this team is set. We will get the sim underway, and we'll take it from there. So let's go. Let's do this. Like I said, I don't really enjoy, like, you know, just trading all my picks and all my best prospects and getting all these best players for one final run. That's not really the way I prefer to approach the final few years of a series. I still like to keep it as if we were keeping the team the same and continuing the series. And again, this series would continue if it wasn't for the fact that NHL 18 is right around the corner. So, anyway, it is what it is. We knew this was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. We knew this series was going to be a little bit shorter. It was always going to be that way because of the, you know, just because of the release schedule and how late we started this series, but it's fine. So we'll go best lines down in the AHL. Again, we got to take out Tiervainen for Ullman, our new favorite German. Defense should be set. Yep, we got Gill in there. Perfect. Actually has Vigilante up on the top line, which is pretty crazy. Let's see. Top 4, top 2. Okay, so we do have to swap out Haig and Vigilante. We have a lot of offensive defensemen too, but you know what? That looks fine. Actually, let's have Bronstrom with Gill and then have Kuhlman there. Hey, you know what? There we go. Hey, Kuhlman, Hemsky, Vigilante. That looks fine. That looks fine. And then the offense, I mean, is pretty much good. The scratch players right now are Lind at low top 6 and Barry at medium top 9. Which I don't think is how we want that to go. We're probably going to want Cole Lind back in the lineup. So I think it's going to be McFarland that would get taken out. Because Berard and Machowski are a bit better. Or Stewart, but Stewart's medium top 6. Yeah, McFarland has to go. McFarland has to go. Or he doesn't have to go, but he has to be scratched. For Cole Lind. You know what? I might as well set this team up the proper way, so give me 1 second. Like I said, we're going to treat this as if we're actually continuing, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, so centers. Elias Anderson, of course, technically a center. 71, 72. Anderson. All right, that works. We actually just have to swap those two around. Let's go with that. Swap them around, and there we go. The Hartford Wolfpack looking pretty good. Let's get in to the sim. We'll see if we can keep a lot of these All-Stars happy again. For challenging, trying to keep this series challenging, using our spare money to, get Nicholas Backstrom and Ryan Johansson in the same free agent window. Probably not the best as far as wanting to keep things challenging, but you know what? We could afford to do it, and we did. So let's move forward. Let's get the season sim underway, and we'll see how the Rangers can do in their last season. Last season for now. Like I said, we could revisit this on stream someday. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. So we're good. We are good. Now is the fun time. Now is where the real fun begins, where I try to figure out what the hell to talk about while we sim through. Right. And to say I am out of ideas would be a bit of an understatement. For those watching on Twitch, you know that I recorded Rebuilding Hockeytown before this, so now those on YouTube also know that fact. And, we ranted and rambled a lot with that, as we tend to do, as Cole Lind gets injured immediately. That's great. So, I don't have a whole hell of a lot to talk about. I just don't. As Jeff Skinner gets injured, I might have to turn off injuries. I might have to turn off injuries. Oh, God. All right, hold on. Damn it. Damn it. This is going to cause issues, isn't it? Skinner. Who do I want to call up here? They're going to be on the third line. Let's give Owen Tippett the chance. Let's give Owen Tippett the opportunity. Skinner was actually on the top line over Zuccarello. I'm not sure why. So again, we'll give Jesus the chance, and we'll put, good old Owen Tippett on the third line. So, is everybody happy, by the way? I mean, we are in the very early stages of the game. People are just pissed off about me trading away that prospect immediately, which doesn't really surprise me. And do I actually have... Okay, good. I still have McFarland that I can put into the lineup, but we are almost out of scratched players to put into the lineup. And actually, here, we'll leave McFarland there because otherwise I could forget who we took out of the lineup. But let's keep going. And I have been asked to talk about the Mike Ribeiro retirement. Now, here's the thing, right? There are stories on the ice, off the ice, that he might not be the best guy in the world, right? But hey, so be it. The point is, the dude's having to retire. The dude is essentially retiring because he is struggling in a major way with what could possibly be both, drug and alcohol abuse. So, bottom line is, it doesn't matter if I didn't like him as a player. It doesn't matter if you don't like him as a person. He's still a person that's struggling. So my opinion is, I fucking hope for his own sake and for his family's sake that he gets help. I mean, I don't see how anybody could really have a differing opinion on the matter. So, like I said, I might not be the biggest fan of him as a player. There are some stories out there, not like Alex Burrows level of stories when it comes to, maybe proving that somebody is an absolute douche. But still, bottom line is, I feel sorry for the guy. I feel sorry for his family, and I hope that he is able to get some help very, very quickly before it turns into a much more tragic story. Because again, it wasn't all that long ago that we got to see a series of tragic stories come to an end when it comes to NHL or former NHL players. And I think we can all pretty much be in agreement. It would be nice to avoid that situation. So, yeah, there you go. There's my opinion on it. As far as him retiring, good. He should, because he needs help. Hockey should be the least of his concerns right now. I mean, really. You're talking about an addict who hasn't hit rock bottom that's a millionaire. Like, there are addicts that, I mean, you know, addicts don't exactly need millions of dollars to kind of be successful with ruining their lives. So, yeah, imagine then having millions of dollars at your disposal and not really thinking that you have a problem or not feeling like you can get the help to solve the problem. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a fucking psychiatrist, but, I mean, come on. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how people could have a different opinion other than, for the love of God, get help. So, yeah, no. It is what it is. We'll take Glenn Barry out of the lineup and put Owen Tippett back in. And yes, I will try to segue right back into talking as if we weren't just talking about a very serious subject. So, there you go. There you go. Anyway, it sucks, though, that this series has to end because this team looks incredible still. Like, I really love the look of the team. We're doing well so far this season, as you would expect. But again, it's always tough to do. It is always extremely tough, especially for me, to end a series. Because, I mean, you start to build the team from scratch, kind of, and it's just, I don't know. It really sucks to end it. But hopefully, we can end this series on a good note. Much like we started this series, on a very, very good note. So, we shall see. We shall see. But, for the moment, Hartford's kind of struggling, but the main team is doing all right. The main team is doing all right, and that is what matters. So, yeah. And, of course, we'll keep an eye on the stats. We'll see how our big free agent signings are doing. Of course, Jesus Phillips, we'll have to check on him. I have no option there. But I'm not going to stop the sim until it forces me to. And immediately, wow, Anthony Duclair on waivers. Holy shit. I mean, that's a hell of a contract. Player role as a depth forward. And I could just sign him and bury him down in the minors, but still, it's not often anymore that you see a player like Duclair on the waiver wire. You used to see that all the time in the game, and then thankfully they kind of fixed the frequency of that. I mean, fuck it. We're absolutely going to claim him. Are you kidding me? That was a gift. Thank you. Thank you, Arizona. That is hilarious. Anthony Duclair is back. Wow. God damn. I guess EA doesn't want me to end this series if they're going to keep handing me players like that. But he is down in the AHL at the moment, which, to be honest, I'm fine with. I mean, I don't exactly have to call him up. We'll take a look at the NHL scoring in a minute. But, I mean, at the moment, I mean, you're talking about probably taking Berard or Machowski out of the lineup, and Machowski's been struggling. So, yeah, we'll take him out of the lineup. We will put Duclair in, and he should just tear the AHL apart. Now, Safine's a 68 for face-offs. Fior face-offs. So we got a couple of 70s. Can Duclair play center? Not really. So what we'll do is we'll go with Vesalainen as a center. So we'll have Duclair, Elias Anderson, Owen Tippett, Formenton, Vesalainen, and Ty Ronning as our top six at the AHL level, which just isn't fair. Then you look at the NHL scoring. Zuccarello's doing all right so far this year. Backstrom with 11 assists, and then as you would expect, Malta Stromwall is tearing it up. Jeff Skinner, he missed some time due to injury, but he is struggling a bit. Zibanejad is not. Turris is doing all right. You have Kovacs, Johansson, and then Phillips. So to be honest here, I'm going to swap Phillips with Skinner, and we'll see how well that works out. Now, is Jeff Skinner going to complain about a lack of ice time? He might. Yeah, he might, to be honest. Let's see. We'll swap him with Turris on the power play. And then he really shouldn't complain about it. I wouldn't imagine. So there we go. We got Skinner there. Hopefully nobody is complaining. How's the fourth line doing, by the way? Matt Bolesky, 5 points so far. Fourth line's not doing too bad. Again, it's certainly improved as compared to the year before when we had Jimmy Hayes on the team. So, you know, we're looking all right. 18 games in, though. Still a long way to go. Currently in second place in the division behind the New York Islanders. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's do it. Let's do it. Anthony Duclair back in this organization. We'll see what he can do with the Wolfpack. It could give them that extra bit of scoring that they need. I don't know really what their issue is. Goal scoring shouldn't be the issue. Defense definitely shouldn't be the issue. I mean, it's not often you're going to have a defensive core of that caliber with an AHL team. So I'd like to think they're going to make the playoffs, but, it could be the goaltending. It could be the goaltending. We broke up the Finnish core by adding a German goaltender to the mix. So, it's looking all right. It is looking all right. Owen Tippett happy with his ice time, as he should be. 18-8-2 record. Man, it sucks. What? To be honest, this is the first time in my life where I'm like, I wish NHL 18 didn't come out until like the middle of September, maybe even the end of September. This is the first time I think I've ever wished that. Because, again, I'd like the series to continue, but at best, we get one extra season out of this, out of this mode. I mean, maybe two if I have each episode be kind of Draft to Glory-like, where we record a full season per episode. But it is better right now to just kind of end it, let it be, and prepare to come back with NHL 18. And then, of course, again, if you didn't watch Rebuilding Hockeytown, if you didn't watch Rebuilding Hockeytown, we have the Hall of Fame kind of deal coming up where we're going to look back on the rest of the series that we've done this year, and we're going to kind of commemorate the best of the best that we have had throughout the amazing year that was NHL 17. Again, I mentioned this in the Hockeytown video, but you talk about series. I mean, we had the Bruins series, the Blues Fantasy Draft series, Draft to Glory, Sweden Nation United. God, I'm forgetting. I said the Bruins series. What else am I thinking of? The CBJ/QC series. I mean, holy shit. We have done a lot this year. And there's a lot to look back on. There's a lot to look back on with a whole lot of fondness. So like I said, we call it quits for now. We sit back and enjoy and look back at the year that was, and then we move on and start fresh with NHL 18 as it is right around the corner. Anyway, turns out we're a pretty good team, and the Hartford Wolfpack have absolutely turned it around. We have absolutely turned it around after the acquisition of Anthony Duclair. Cannot believe nobody else claimed him. Again, we were in second place in the division at that point in time, so there's no way that other teams, I mean, I guess they were just scared off by the $3 million contract, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Just take him for the 1 year, bury him in the AHL, and then re-sign him at the start of next year, and he's a beast for you, at least on the third line, potentially. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a nice addition to the team as we are potentially cruising to a near 50-win season. 31 wins at this point early on in February. It's February, but I'm just saying February. I love the way people pronounce it. A lot of people, oh, well, there goes Duclair. Anyway, assistant coach replace player. We'll just do it that way. I'm running out of stuff to talk about when I'm talking about the different ways people pronounce the name of a month. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get Duclair back into the lineup. We'll take Barry out of there. And I do have to check on the progression of some of these players. Duclair still shows up as a depth guy. Yeah, they all still show up as depth players, but they are, at least the 5, Ronning, not so much. The other 5 are very close now to NHL caliber, which is pretty damn sweet. And then Tim Gettinger, I'm surprised, isn't showing up as a fourth-line guy yet because of that physical ability. But probably pretty close. And Safin's up to a 79 as well. And then the defense, I mean, oh, the defense. Even Gill has already gone up 2 points. Old Gill there. God damn it. You got Luukkonen at the 81. Allman's done really well. He's played 20 games so far this year. Pretty damn ridiculous, man. Pretty damn ridiculous. And then there's Jesus Phillips, who is up to an 86 overall already. Not the best point total when you're on a line with Zibanejad and Kyle Turris. You know, we kind of want him to be the goal scorer of that line. It hasn't quite worked out. That new third line, though, is getting it done. We have one hell of a team, and the fact that we've been able to balance everybody without people getting too aggravated is an accomplishment in and of itself. But we march on here. Swig of water. Yeah, I'm dying in this room. Oh my God. And Ty Ronning broke his foot and is out for the rest of the season. Out until April 12th. My God. Well, Ty, I didn't exactly label you as, you know, a future NHL star like the other 5. And now, I mean, you're going to be missing some crucial development time. So you're really not. I mean, man, that was the worst case scenario for Ty Ronning, I would say. That is a bit rough. Trade deadline's almost here. I don't need to do anything. The most I could do right now is get rid of an extra prospect for an extra pick. I don't care. This team is set. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's see what happens as we move forward. Now, I don't think we're going to hit 50 wins. You know, I mean, we have lost 3 straight games. We've lost quite a few games, actually. 6 out of our last 7. So I think 50 wins is out of the question. But now we just mainly need to focus on securing this division title as we get another decent waiver claim. EA, I get it. You want me to stay. But holy shit. Mitch Van de Sample on waivers. He is 24 now. Low top 4, 82 overall. So he's never going to be this incredible defenseman, but why wouldn't I sign him up for the rest of the year? Sure, absolutely. We have the roster spots for it. Now, again, it would take away a spot from one of my current defensemen, but, I mean, we're looking all right. And actually, wow, the race is really close here. The Islanders have jumped up quite a bit of a ways away, so it's going to be an interesting race to the finish here, but down in the AHL, like I said, I don't exactly want to... I mean, God, Eric Bronstrom's offensive ability is unreal. I'm not even going to play Van de Sample. I mean, he's just going to sit there. So, I mean, he's there in case of injury, and that's that's one hell of a depth player to have. And again, we can get rid of him if we decide to. So, I mean, I can just let him go at the end of the year if this series was to continue. Again, I think you guys can tell how much I don't want to end this series, but it is time. It is time. We have to end it. It's fine. That way we get that little bit of a refresher, and we start strong with NHL 18, because when NHL 18 gets here, I mean, live streaming, posting the episodes consistently, like I am going to probably be a bit ridiculous when it comes to my streaming schedule, my upload schedule. I mean, I plan on that being the case. We'll see. We shall see. So, and as it is, I mean, like I've mentioned before, I do have a list of, you know, ideas for franchise mode that I could do. I haven't yet decided on what exactly I want to do. Do I want to have one mode from the start, 2 different modes, hell, even 3 different modes as Anthony Duclair gets injured again? Oh my God. So, this month, by the way, I was just looking at the calendar. There's a lot of losses in March. I mean, we could have just screwed ourselves out of home ice advantage in the first round of the postseason from the looks of it. Like, holy shit. Like, we lost a lot of games over the past month. So let's take a look. We are still in second in the division. 6 games to go. We could catch the Islanders. They're struggling a little bit too. It is a very close race. But the Islanders right now the only team in the Metro to clinch a playoff spot. I need to fix the AHL team really quickly. Again, Ronning is still hurt. Van de Sample is just sitting there. So we'll take out Machovsky for Duclair, and we'll hope that he doesn't get injured again. And then Barry will stay there. Can he play center? Kind of, sort of. We might as well leave him. Whatever, it's fine. We will swap Stewart with him, though, because, again, Barry isn't exactly the high-value player here. All right, man, those defensemen. Then the goaltending, Luukkonen's up to an 81. He's had a decent year. Ullman's had a decent year as well. And we'll take a look at the NHL stats in a bit, but obviously the one guy that kind of comes to mind here is good old Jesus. Good old Jesus. Let's sim the rest of the season, shall we? 6 games to go. The chance for that division title, it's still up for grabs. Can we get at least a pity point against Winnipeg? We can do better than that. We can get the 4-1 win. How about against the New Jersey Devils? Can we get at least a pity point? We can get another 4-1 win. And we are looking good. Both teams are going to make the playoffs, by the way, from the looks of it. We are currently 1 point back of the Islanders, and we have clinched a playoff spot. God, I love this team. Like I do. The way we've set it up right now. Can we beat the Blackhawks or at least get a pity point? Oh my God, what is that? 5 straight wins now. We have a game against the Caps, the Dallas Stars, and the Blue Jackets to finish the season. The Capitals still kind of sort of in the playoff hunt. Can we get the win? Ty Ronning is healthy for Hartford. We can. Oh my God, we are on a roll heading in to the postseason. Incredible. Let's take a look at the standings. And with 102 points, we are currently 1 point above the Islanders. At this point, it is a 2-horse race. Somebody will have the division title. The other team will at least have home ice advantage, probably against the Carolina Hurricanes in round 1. And we have to play the Dallas Stars. They could very well be competing for the President's Trophy. 46 wins for them. We have 47. This is going to be a very tough game. Can we get the win, please? It's a 5-3 loss. The win streak comes to an end. Let's check the standings again. Is that division title dream still alive? We are now 1 point back of the Islanders. So we have to win to stand a chance at getting that division title. Can we beat the Blue Jackets? If we lose, it's guaranteed we're playing Carolina. We beat them 4-0. There is a chance. Can we win that division title? We cannot. The Islanders also won their final game of the season. And they also won the conference. That's rough. To miss out on a div title by 1 point. We finished 10 points above Carolina and Pittsburgh. And we're going to have to play the Canes in round 1. I would at least assume. Let's find out if that is confirmed. It is confirmed. We will play the Carolina Hurricanes in round 1. Not too bad. Not too bad. If we ended up winning, we would have been facing the Devils. So regardless, we were facing a team, Metro. 96, 96, and 86 for ratings, by the way. I just noticed. Down in the AHL, it's an 84, 86, and 73, which is ridiculous. So let's sim to game number 1. We'll take a look at the stats from around the league. We'll take a look at the Canes, and we're going to keep going. I could easily end this episode here, but no. We are going with the marathon, and we are going to end this series right here, right now, in this episode. So, the one thing that's concerning is that Ryan Johansson led the team with 61 points. That is very concerning. We'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. Again, the Islanders won the league title and the conference, just shy of the President's Trophy, though. 50 wins for them. Let's see, goals for per game. We were only at 2.77, which looks to be mid-table. Yeah, that is mid-table, and that is what I was concerned about. Our offense underperformed, surprisingly. Now, we did win as many games as we did, 104 points, but if our offense didn't underperform, we'd be looking a whole lot better right now. We did, though, have the lowest goals against per game average, so our defense and goaltending did pretty damn well this year. 9 less goals than Edmonton, who were in second. Our power play was at 15th 15%, bottom 5 in the league, which is crazy considering some of the players that we have. Our penalty kill, though, was the best in the league. So some surprising numbers that mainly just show that our offense underperformed, despite the fact that we did incredibly well this season. And that does lead to Ryan Johansson, despite being on the third line, leading the team in points. 61 for him on the third line. Stromwall, only 56 points, 38 goals, but only 56 points. Backstrom with only 43 assists. I was hoping Backstrom and Stromwall would be, you know, a little bit better of a combination than that. Jeff Skinner with 53 points. Zuccarello with 53 points. Zibanejad with 51. So, I mean, it is nice. It is nice that we had 6 players over the 50-point mark. It's not too bad. McAvoy with 46 points. Kyle Turris with 43. Kovacs 39. Jesus Phillips only with 38 in his rookie year, but 13 goals isn't awful. You have our defenseman here. Cameron Askew with 20 points on the fourth line is perfect. Well done. Matt Bolesky with 18. Kruger with 13. And then Duclair had 7 points in 20 games, and Arizona sent him down. Not quite sure. Hiccups and burps. Oh, tried to hold it off. It didn't happen. Not quite sure why they would have let Duclair go. I need to take a swig of water. I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind. Oh, it's better. I can't get hiccups right now, man. I can't. Shesterkin, 67 appearances, a .924 save percentage, a .936 for Halverson in 17 appearances. Let's take a look league-wide really quickly. The goaltending wins leader was Bishop. Shesterkin was tied with Dubnyk for second in the league. The rookie race. Now, of course, Phillips was eligible. He wasn't even close, though. Jansen Harkins, 71 points as a rookie. Holy shit. Holy shit. Alex Dosty with 67. I mean, Vedamo was up there. Grunstrom, Liljegren, Riley Tufte was also up there. And yeah, say what you want. Phillips didn't have power play time, and 38 points isn't bad. But still, you look at the caliber of players he's with. I was hoping for 50 points. And I was hoping someone like Backstrom and Stromwall would be up around 70-ish. So, bottom line is, our players still underperformed. Yeah, our power play sucked, but also just our goal scoring in general was a little bit lower than it should have been. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. We will make lineup changes. Tarasenko led the league in points. Max Domi was up there. Holy shit. Probably because of Clayton Keller. That makes sense. That does make sense. Alex Nylander was up there too. The goal-scoring king was Tarasenko with 48. Only 3 players broke the 40-goal mark. The assist leader was Max Domi. And Alex Nylander, who's up from 90 already, was up there as well. So let's take a look at what we can do with these lines, shall we? Right now I don't have to worry about keeping players happy. We are in the postseason. This is what matters. So let's get this set up in the best way possible. Now again, kind of paying attention to the stats here. I mean, bottom line is 2 players aren't going to get power play time. Right? 2 players aren't going to get power play time. I mean, because you have the top 6, and then I'd say Johansson and Skinner, Kovacs isn't being considered. I'd say Johansson needs the power play time. I'd say Skinner probably needs it as well. It's tough. I mean, all these guys are obviously good offensively. Let me go best lines. And it actually puts Jesus Phillips on the top line with Backstrom and Stromwall. Holy shit. But you know what? We'll go with that then. We'll go with that. It has Skinner, Zibanejad, Turris, Zuccarello, Johansson, Kovacs. Wow. You know, I'll go with what the best line suggested. I don't know how I feel about having Matt Zuccarello on the third line, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. And then defensively, wow, Brady Shea's up to a 91. However, McDonough is still listed as a top 2. So I want to keep McDonough and Shattenkirk together, as well as McAvoy and Brady Shea. But we got Brady Shea to recover, which is pretty damn sweet. And then the power play unit, it has Stromwall, Backstrom, Johansson, Phillips, Zibanejad, Skinner. So missing is Kyle Turris and Zuccarello, which I suppose isn't that surprising, really. And then the penalty kill is Zibanejad, Bolesky, Kruger, and Johansson, which, I mean, what's funny, though, is our penalty kill was great in the regular season, so I guess I'm just going to keep that the same. We'll just go with the best lines and see what happens. And by the way, is anybody healthy? Ty Ronning. That's right, Ty Ronning is healthy. We can take out Glenn Barry for him. And that'll boost up the Wolfpack a little bit. By the way, Stewart's up to a 75 already, improving at a very, very nice rate. So we will keep that team the way it is. Let's get into the postseason. Again, I could easily stop this episode here. We will not. Let's go. Our final postseason with the Rangers, at least for as long as this is a series. Let's take a look at what we are up against in the form of the Carolina Hurricanes. Van de Sample's not happy about ice time. I don't give a shit. 93, 96, and 88 for the ratings. I believe that's Elias Lindholm right there as their best player. So, yeah, this will be interesting to take a look at this team. I'm loving our team right now, but we are up against Chris Kreider and Elias Lindholm. That is a very strong lineup. Wow. So the top line is Kreider, still listed as a second-line player, still as well-rounded as ever. He had 54 points, which is way more than he ever did with us in the regular season. And, of course, he happened to, win a cup somewhat recently. So there's that. He is centered by Elias Lindholm, who has turned into an absolute monster, which is, I guess, not all that surprising. And Julien Gauthier also on that top line. The passing's a bit weak. The offensive awareness is a bit weak. The physical category really boosts him up, but interesting player. Very interesting player. I'm surprised he's listed as a third line checking forward. The second line, Sebastian Aho, who just has not progressed, surprisingly, is centered by Mr. Selke, Jordan Staal. Wins it every goddamn time. And Valentin Zykov, who despite being medium top 9, has turned into another beast. Mainly because of that physical category, but he does look like a pretty well-rounded player at an 88 overall. Ridiculous. We're down to the third line. Teuvo Teravainen, 85 overall, is centered by Victor Rask. Still looking like a decent player. And Joachim Nordstrom, still there as well. The fourth line, Casey Mittelstadt, who went 12th overall in the 2017 draft. Of course, looking like a decent player at this point, is centered by Yanni Kuokkanen, second line forward. Like, here's the thing. I was looking at Mittelstadt, and I'm like, okay, what the hell? Like, why is he on the fourth line? You should be playing him on the third line. You're misusing him, kind of like I misuse some of my prospects. But then Kuokkanen is a second-line center on the fourth line. Also with Alexi Sorella, who is a third-line player as well. Again, that is a very strong lineup. I mean, you look at the centers in particular. We could be in trouble. 84 overalls are the lowest players on the team. And it doesn't get much easier looking at the defense. Wow. All right. Top pairing, Noah Hannafin, who has turned into a legit top 2 defenseman, is with Hayden Fleury, who is also a 90 overall, which, goddamn. Second pairing, you start off with Trevor Carrick, which is a little bit surprising, but stat-wise, he's not awful, admittedly. But he's with Justin Falk. Holy hell. Then the third pairing is Keegan Kanzig, who, I mean, look at that frickin' physical category. 98, 99, and 98. Holy shit. What a monster. If we ever redo Goon Squad, I guess we know who we're going after. And then Roland McCown is his partner there on that third pairing. Wow, we are in for a rough series here. The goaltender, presumably, is Alexander Nedeljkovic, 85 overall. You still have Scott Darling as well. Spencer Smallman is injured, so their lineup's actually even better because Smallman, as you can see, is a beast. 96 passing, the 89 offensive awareness. We've paid attention to him in the past. 71 points in the AHL, 66 points in the NHL the year after. Do they have any other injuries? They don't. Okay, so that is it. And when I say that is it, I mean, oh God, that's it. We're done. Because there's, we have a good team, but fair play to Carolina's GM. He has built a very solid team. And we could be in for a rough go here, but regardless, it is time to find out. Let's do this. And now was a good time for me to notice that my laptop wasn't charging. Glad I noticed that at the last second. Anyway, it is game one. We have home ice advantage. Can we make the most of it? It's time to find out. First period here in MSG, and that is unfortunate. Julien Gauthier with the opening goal of this game. 13 shots to 9 for the Canes. Second period, Valentin Zykov scores. I'm just going to hit the A button and we're going to hope for the best. Do we have a comeback on the cards? We do. Marcus Kruger and Charlie McAvoy. And the Rangers, a nice little comeback there. 39 shots to 25 have forced overtime against the Canes. Not too shabby. Let's do this. Come on. Can we get the win here? Yes, we can. Kyle Turris, 55 seconds in. And the Canes blow a 2-0 lead. The New York Rangers steal game one. That's what you get. That is what you get. Now, part of me was hoping that we'd lose, so I could switch to the calendar simming. I am going to alternate with the simming choices, but because we won, we are going to go right back into the main sim here. We'll go quickly with it, I promise. First period of game two. Case in point, it's working out for us at the moment. Malta, Stromwall, and Kyle Turris again on Scott Darling. Beautiful stuff. Second period, even better. Sebastian Aho gets a goal back, but then Jesus Phillips with his first ever playoff goal, and then Malta Stromwall gets another one. It's a 4-1 lead for the Rangers. Third period, we make it 5 with Marcus Kruger getting another goal. 5-1 final for the Rangers. And we have defended home ice incredibly well. 2-0 series lead in the books. Not too bad at all. What a way to start. A good good comeback. I'm not going to say a great comeback, but a good comeback in that first game, the overtime victory, and then a 5-1, fairly straightforward victory in game number 2. Let's go. Game number 3. In Carolina, let the good times roll. That's not the worst. I was concerned when it took so long to load. Kyle Turris scored 53 seconds in. Julien Gauthier gets it back. And then Kyle Turris, less than 40 seconds later, 39 seconds later, math, ends up getting his second of the game to restore the lead. Less than a minute after that, like less than 30 seconds later or so, a little bit less, a little bit more, Jordan Stahl ties it. But then Connor Timmins gets, I believe, his first playoff goal. And we have the 3-2 lead at the moment at the end of that first period. Outshot 17-8. But yeah, man, Kyle Turris, who we almost didn't hold on to. He was incredibly disappointing. We were very close to getting rid of him. This was his last year to prove himself. He's stepping up in the postseason. So I'm happy about it. Second period, though, can we at least shut down the Hurricanes' offense? The answer is no. I'm just going to hit the A button here. Do we have another comeback in the cards? We don't. Wow, Kanzig scores. Teravainen, Rask, and Kanzig with the goals, and the Hurricanes aren't done yet. A 5-3 victory for the Canes. And admittedly, our defense wasn't the best. We did give up a lot of shots, so I don't exactly blame Shesterkin. However, we will now switch to calendar simming for Game 4. We'll see if it works out for us. Also, the Hartford Wolfpack are back in the postseason. They are playing the Binghamton Senators. We'll see how they do. And we lost Game 4 as well by the score of 4-3. So far, home ice is being defended perfectly. And unfortunately for us, the Wolfpack are down 2-0 in their series already to the Sens. So it's not looking too good. We'll focus on the Rangers, though. It's Game 5, back on home ice, back into the in-depth sim. Let's see what we can do. First period here, and there's a goal apiece. Nordstrom and then Kyle Turris again. What a monster. Second period, Zykov scores. That doesn't help at all. Third period, we're just going to hit the button. Can we get the win? We cannot. Aho gets a goal with 5:12 to go. Zibanejad gets one back, but it was too little too late. And after winning the first 2 games of this series, we have lost 3 straight. And we are against the wall here. Will the Wolfpack be swept? Nope, they're still alive. But now our hopes with the Rangers kind of hanging on by a thread here. Let's take a look at the lines. See if it's worth changing up anything at the moment, because we need to find a way to make this happen. You know, I didn't blame Shesterkin for the first loss, but that's not good. Regular season, he did all right, .924 save percentage, but in the playoffs, it just hasn't been there. Same story with Halverson, unfortunately. The defense, we need to change up those pairings. Do I want to go McDonough-McAvoy? I think I will. Let's go McDonough-McAvoy, Shea, Shattenkirk, and then the Graves-Timmins pairing isn't that bad. Yeah, you know what? That works. That works. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll see how that goes, because again, McDonough has to be on that top pairing. And then as far as this goes, 3 points for Phillips, only 2 for Backstrom. So Nicholas Backstrom has been incredibly disappointing. 6 goals for Kyle Turris, by the way. So we're going to make that our new top line, without a doubt. And then Zook hasn't done anything, Johansson hasn't done much, and Kovacs hasn't done a damn thing. So let's go Phillips, Johansson, Stromwall, Zuccarello, Backstrom, and Kovacs. I know what you're saying. How can you expect Zuccarello to really kind of score it all, or Kovacs when they're on the third line? But keep in mind, I mean, they are playing with incredibly good players. So we're going to go with those lineup changes. We will hope for the best. Let's do this. We're not done yet, but it is a must-win game. Game 6 back in Carolina. What could be the final game for the New York Rangers in the Manhattan Project series, unfortunately. I hope that isn't the case. I know some people watching live on Twitch might disagree, but we'll see what happens. First period of Game 6, and that is a good start. Cameron askew, not too shabby. Second period, there we go. The lineup changes, working to perfection. Robin Kovacs gets on the board. Jesus Phillips scores as well. It's a 3-0 lead. We'll hit the A button to send the third period. Despite a bit of a scare, Turris scores again to make it 4-0. Victor Rask and Zykov ruined the shutout, but it was too little too late for the Hurricanes. The Rangers are going to Game 7. Whether or not we move on from that point, I have no idea, but at the very least, those lineup changes paid off, which is always good. Now, we will find out, too, if the Hartford Wolfpack can force a, technically a Game 7. Well, it's a Game 5, but it's a must-win game. We'll find out, and no, they can't. So the Hartford Wolfpack are out in the first round. I can only hope that we don't suffer the same fate. Let's do this. Game 7. Here we go. Spencer Smallman back in the lineup, but I don't care. We got this on home ice. Let's go. I'm not ready for this series to end. Let's keep it going. First period of Game 7 in MSG is scoreless. Second period is not. Jesus, I say. Gets the opening goal on Scott Darling. As we begin the third period sim, we have that 1-0 lead. Early power play chance for Carolina. They cannot convert. Come on now. Power play chance for the Rangers. We can't strike. We're trading power plays. Nobody can score. 7 minutes to go. Another power play chance wasted for Carolina. Under 3 minutes to go. Igor Shesterkin will shut the door. Nicholas Backstrom with the insurance. And the New York Rangers have shut out the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 7. 2 consecutive wins. And the New York Rangers are moving on. This series will continue. I will drink to that. The 28 save shutout for Igor Shesterkin. There we go. There we go. The lineup changes, working to perfection. And we will continue on. This series continues. We will play the Islanders in the next round, which isn't too surprising. They also went to a 7th game with the New Jersey Devils. Quickly taking a look at the scoring. Jeff Skinner finished with 10 assists, 11 points, 10 points for Zibanejad, 7 goals for Kyle Turris. What the hell? Did he get new contact lenses? 5 points for Phillips, 4 for Johansson, 4 for Stromwall. Zuccarello, Backstrom, and Kovacs started to turn it around a little bit. And in fairness, the fourth line isn't doing too terribly. I'm not going to look at the defense. Doesn't matter. Not going to look at the goaltending. Doesn't matter. Because we are moving on. Let's go. Let's go. We know we're playing the Islanders in round 2. We will take a look at their lineup really quickly before beginning that series. It is a damn shame that the Wolfpack are out. No Calder Cups for us in this series, despite having some incredible talent. As we get a look at the Islanders' ratings, 97, 93, and an 88, which is concerning. Yeah, I'd say that's the right word, concerning. Let's take a look at what we are up against. The top line consists of Dennis Jan, who has had 3 points in the first round. John Tavares is there as well, to be honest. I don't care to look at the stats. I don't care. It's fine. John Tavares is there, and Jordan Eberle, still an Islander. He is the top line right wing. Second line, Michael Dow Cole is there, centered by Matthew Barzal and Josh Ho-Sang. So there you go, Islanders fans. You've got that dream lineup. Third line, Anthony Beauvillier with Shane Prince, who's somehow a second line forward. And they ended up signing Gustav Nyquist. That's where he ended up going. And then Kiefer Bellows, who's still a fourth liner, despite being an 85 overall, is with Brock Nelson. And Andrew Ladd's way down on the fourth line as an 82 overall. It's a good team, especially that top 9. And I mean, I'm not, taking anything away from Bellows or Nelson. It's a good team. It is a damn good team. And on defense, it's not the greatest we've ever seen. But, I mean, it's nothing to, nothing to really kind of pass off, I guess. Or to look past, I should say. That's better. That's proper English, kind of. Nicoletti is on that top pairing with Calvin Dahan. Second pairing is Ryan Pulock with Vieti Vainio. And Parker Wotherspoon is on that third pairing with Henry Jokiharju. The goaltender is Linus Soderstrom. 86 overall, 945 save percentage in the first round. Eamon McAdam is the backup at an 86 as well. They do have an injury to Adam Pelech, so the defense would be a little bit better. Casey Cizikas is down to an 81 and is scratched. Dawson Holt is also scratched. A former player of ours, I think, in this series? No, we never had him. We've used him in other series, though. We have used him in other series. Speaking of series, let's get this series underway. Let's go. The battle for New York, because we don't need to factor in the Buffalo Sabres at all. Because nobody cares. Let's do this. We are on the road. Who knows where we're playing at this point? We could be playing in Hartford for all I know. I don't care. First period of Game 1 is scoreless. Second period is not. Jordan Eberle gets the opening goal. Third period, Eberle with the empty netter. And the Islanders take Game 1 with a 2-0 shutout victory, which means we are off to the calendar sim for Game 2. Let's hope for the best. If it's a loss, we alternate. It's not. So we trade 2-0 shutout victories to begin this series. We'll stick with the calendar sim as we head back home for Game 3. Scouting, really? Really scouting? Come on. Let's go defense for pretty much the rest of the season. And we lost 3-0. So 3 straight shutouts to begin this series. We'll go back to the in-depth sim for Game 4 here, and hopefully we can keep up the trend of alternating wins. First period didn't go very well. Pulock and Bellows 10 seconds apart. Oh my God. Second period, Wotherspoon makes it 3. Third period is a shutout. Unbelievable. 4 games, 4 shutouts, but unfortunately for us, we are down 3-1 in this series. I have never seen anything like that. 2-0 shutout, 2-0 shutout, 3-0, 3-0. I have never seen anything like that. That is crazy. We will go back to the calendar sim for Game 5. I mean, I'm going to make a lineup change, I guess. Maybe. I mean, just out of desperation, I think we're pretty much done for. Pittsburgh also has a 3-0 series lead on Buffalo. But let's see, 11 points for Skinner, 10 for Zibanejad. So that top line has really slowed down. And unfortunately, we do have a lot of underperforming players. I am going to go... I'm going to reunite that old top line. Jeff Skinner, we're going to... I mean, he doesn't have the power play time right now. Skinner and Zuccarello don't have the power play time, so we'll give them those top line minutes. We'll have Phillips with Johansson and Kovacs yet again. And then defensively, I mean, it's McDonough's still struggling a bit. You know what? Let's go with... What do we want to go with here? I don't know, to be honest. Let's go with... let's just reunite the old lines, and we'll see if that works. And then the goaltending is probably the biggest question and the biggest problem at the moment. Although Shesterkin's up to a 932. I'm wrong. It's not Shesterkin. It is the offense. The offense is struggling. Again, it will be a calendar sim here for game number 5. Does this series end? Does the Manhattan Project end with a second round elimination by the hands of the New York Islanders? It does. All 5 games ended with shutouts. I have never seen that before. Unfortunately for us, we were shut out 4 times. As it's over. I don't think that's really registered yet. Like, okay, we're out, it's over, but holy shit. All 5 games were shutout victories. Oh my god. Like, really, I can't believe that. We scored 2 goals in 5 games. We scored 2 goals in 5 games. Linus Soderstrom, congratulations. You deserve to win the Conn Smythe right now. Like, you really do. You deserve to win the Conn Smythe right now. That is incredible. And despite the fact that it's a loss, that is still an incredible way to end the Manhattan Project. I mean, at the very least, I can say, well, it ended in a way that I certainly never expected and have never seen anything like that. And we'll find out here in a second who the Stanley Cup champion is going to be. It's going to be Pittsburgh. The Islanders. It's going to be Pittsburgh. So the Penguins were able to get past the New York Islanders, and they were able to go on to win yet another Stanley Cup. The 2021 champions, your Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's take a look really quick at our player stats, at the Penguins player stats. We'll take a look at the awards, and then that'll do it for this episode. Now, Jeff Skinner really didn't do anything in the second round. I mean, really, that top line, I mean, they delivered, but they just delivered in the first round. So, yeah, I mean, most of this scoring was from the first round. Again, we only had 2 goals throughout this entire series, or in the second round at least. So, man, that's a rough way to end it. That is a very, very rough way to end it. Malta Stromwall didn't deliver. Matt Zuccarello didn't deliver. A ton of underperforming players. And again, Shesterkin, 929 save percentage. That is typically good enough to at least progress to, say, the third round, perhaps. But it just didn't happen this time out. The offense completely died out. And we simply had no answer for Linus Soderstrom, unlike the Pittsburgh Penguins. Soderstrom finished with a 953 save percentage and a 136 goals against average. So I would be intrigued to see the score lines from the Penguins-Islanders series. Not like, oh, okay, who won game 1, who won game 2. I want to see the scores. However, Matt Murray had a 90 overall, 181 goals against average. He had a 940 save percentage himself. That was enough to get the job done. You look at their defense, Chris Letang was still there. He had a good postseason. They have Ethan Prow, who's up to an 84. Justin Schultz is still there. Oli Mata, Brian DeMoulin, and Justin Falk, surprisingly, was the 6th defenseman. So not the best defensive core we've ever seen, but it was good enough to get the job done. And who else, right? Who else? Evgeny Malkin strikes again. 26 points in 22 games. Jake Gensel up to an 87 with 13 points. Crosby with 13 points. They ended up signing Mike Vecchione, and he did incredibly well for them. 86 overall for them. I mean, probably should have kept him. Brian Rust, Teddy Blueger, Scott Wilson, Phil Kessel. Didn't do a whole hell of a lot, but it was still enough to get the job done. Those are your Pittsburgh Penguins. Those are your Stanley Cup champions. But goddamn, Geno Malkin strikes again. Guaranteed Conn Smythe winner. I mean, there you have it. The 5 years that we simmed, an Eastern Conference team won every time. We won the Cup in year 1, 2016-17. Pittsburgh, Ottawa, Carolina won it last year. And then the Pittsburgh Penguins win it again this year. And again, I'd love to continue this series, but unfortunately, we are just out of time. We will look at the player awards, though. The Art Ross goes to Tarasenko, as does the Hart. Oliver Ekman-Larsson wins the Norris. Not too bad. Tarasenko, the Lady Byng. Jansen Harkins won the Calder. No surprise. Matt Murray actually won the Conn Smythe, which is highway robbery. Just highway robbery. Shesterkin won the Vezina. In year 1, Henrik Lundqvist wins the Vezina. In year 2, Igor Shesterkin gets the job done. That is unbelievable. He also won the Jennings. You can't blame him. You can't blame him. The offense let us down. The Masterton goes to Caleb Jones, the Selke to Kopitar, Tarasenko with the Ted Lindsay, and the Rocket Richard Award. Again, in 5 years down in the AHL, Rockford won it the first 2 years, and it was Charlotte, Tucson, and the San Antonio Rampage. I don't know who that is, to be honest. I think it's C.J. Smith takes home that award. Ruptsov on the or in the Philadelphia Flyers organization did incredibly well. The Eddie Shore Award goes, I think that's to Justin Wallman. Malcolm Subban was the goalie of the year. Cedric Paquette was the playoff MVP. Yeah, there you have it. There you have it. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Guys. I'm not going to go through the draft because, again, there was a chance I could pick this back up at a later time, maybe kind of as like a flashback stream or something like that, because I have really enjoyed this series. I don't want it to end, but again, NHL 18 is right around the corner, and there are certain things I need to do before that gets here. So that is why this is the stopping point. It hasn't been my longest series, but I will say I enjoyed the hell out of this series, and I hope you felt the same way, despite the fact that we only simmed 5 seasons, when we typically, do a little bit more. But it is what it is. Like I mentioned, the whole Hall of Fame deal will be coming up at some point in the near future before NHL 18 comes out. So I don't know if we'll have any Hall of Fame caliber players from this series. We shall see. But like I said, guys, I hope you did enjoy the series. It sucks to have it end, but it is what it is. So if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed the series, you know what you have to do to support the video and the channel. It's been real. Not really. It hasn't been. I never say that. Why did I say that? That's the worst thing I could have said. That's the dumbest. What a highlight to end the Manhattan Project on, huh? Yeah. All right, it's over. Goodbye. See you later. You can leave now if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, stay. But if you're on YouTube, it's over. Leave. Goodbye.